If you've been using Mint.com, you need to act fast because that app is going away beginning January 1st, 2024. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to be ready. All right, so back in 2009, Intuit, which is a business software company, they purchased Mint.com, and they own several other companies, including TurboTax, MailChimp, and Credit Karma. And anyone who has a Mint.com account now is going to transition over to Credit Karma. That's if you want to. You see, my wife and I, we've been using Mint for over 10 years. So it's going to be somewhat of an adjustment. And I want to make sure that we're ready, and I want to make sure that you're ready. And regardless of how you budget, you need to have something that's helping you keep an eye on some things. We love to use the tool because it helped with tracking net worth and just having a open discussion about what's going on. This is what's saved for retirement. Oh, what happened with those transactions? Or wait, this looks a little weird. How can we figure this out? Or how come this account is disconnected? But it helped with making sure that both of our eyes were fixated on the right things and that the dialogue continued to be open. The main reason we use Mint.com is because it was free. You know, obviously when you want to budget and mind your money, you don't want it to necessarily cost you money. But the downside of having a free budgeting app is that you're going to see ads pretty regularly. You're also going to see partnership agreements and things like that you almost have to brush up against in order to get to the information you really want. So that's one of the things that we didn't care for as much with Mint.com, but overall it still gave us a good view of things. And transitioning will be interesting. We're trying to figure a little bit of what we want to do going forward now. So we're going to get ready along with you. As far as the transition to Credit Karma, I guess it's convenient for Intuit, and maybe it's a sign of the times that, hey, it's really just more lucrative to target people towards their credit versus helping them budget and get better with spending their money. So personally, I have not had issues with my credit, and the main benefit for me would just be credit monitoring and identity theft protection is what I would look for with something like a Credit Karma. But ultimately, I think I will just transition to something else. It's a matter of what. Okay, so first, if you are transitioning from Mint to Credit Karma, just know that it's not going to be the same. They are going to transition your entire Mint net worth history to Credit Karma, but they're only going to transfer up to about 3 years worth of transaction history from Mint to Credit Karma. And some of the features are going to be a little bit different. So as far as what you're going to see, you'll be able to track on Credit Karma your cash flow, your net spending, and then also the different categories that you spend in. And if everything is cool with you, then you don't really have to do much. They're going to give you notifications through the app, and they're going to send you some emails. So there isn't much you'll have to do, but you'll be led into that. And if you have questions in the meantime, don't contact me. Email mint_migration@intuit.com, and I'll put that below in the comments as well. But you'll be given instructions as to what you need to do so that it'll make it somewhat smooth. As a best practice though, if something is migrating, I think it's up to you as the user to just export your transactions so that you're able to view them at a later date. And in order to do this, you can just go to the transactions page on Mint.com, scroll all the way down, and you can select export to Excel. It'll show you the exact number of transactions that is displayed. And when I looked at mine, it showed me we had about 11,000 transactions recorded on Mint or saved on Mint. And that took us all the way back to about September 2017. And in my opinion, that's more than enough transaction history. I don't need anything more than that. But generally, what you're going to see is that there's going to be a 10,000 transaction limit. And that's just a limitation based on Excel. So you may have to export multiple times, maybe two or three times. I don't know how many transactions you do, but 2 or 3 times max should cover enough. And again, that is a lot of transaction history you can take with you. But it's good to do that as a best practice because if for some reason something happened or something doesn't transfer properly, you have your Excel spreadsheet or CSV file that you can refer back to. If you already have a Credit Karma account, then you'll still be able to log in no problem during the migration process. If you don't have a Credit Karma account, they will prompt you through mint.com as to when you need to create a Credit Karma account. So a couple of things that are going to look a little bit different. Something that's going to look different is your net worth. You see, not everything's going to migrate from Mint to Credit Karma, especially your home loan or your automobile loans. So your net worth will look a little bit different because it's tied to the assets you own. So what I'm saying is you're going to need to manually add that in Credit Karma so that it can make your net worth look like it did on mint.com. Another thing you'll need to make sure you add are manual assets and loans. So if for some reason you couldn't just automatically link it on mint.com and you had to manually add it there, you're going to have to do the same thing on Credit Karma. So just be mindful of that. Not all of this is going to transition over. One last thing that's going to look a little bit different. You know those 3 credit bureaus, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian? Well, Mint used TransUnion specifically. Credit Karma is going to use TransUnion and Equifax. So you have to be mindful that there will be a slight difference in how it's viewed, but ultimately a high credit score is a high credit score and a low credit score is a low credit score. The good news about transitions like this is it's an opportunity to start fresh and just figure things out. And you can also just pivot. So I'm currently deciding, hey, are we going to use a new paid budgeting app or we'll find another free app to use? And that's something I'm trying to figure out. And if you have some suggestions, I'd love to know in the comments, just to break down some of what's free and what's not. As far as the paid budgeting apps, you have YNAB, so that's You Need a Budget. And then you also have Pocket Guard. They have, I would say, free trials and then also some free versions as well. But these things can run you about $70 to $100 annually. On the plus side though, they generally can almost guarantee that they will save you money or find some inefficiencies in your budget so that it helps put that money back into your pockets. Now, what are some options if you want to use a free budgeting app? Well, there are some options like Empower, that used to be called Personal Capital. And what you find there is that because it's free, you may get some ads or be referred to advisors and things like that. So that's up to you if you want to use it. But there's also Honeydew. That's mainly a mobile app, and they don't necessarily have an online interface on a desktop, which is something I also like. I want to be able to look interchangeably. There's NerdWallet, they have a free app, and then there are a few others out there, but I'm currently trying to figure out what is the best, and maybe it's good to start with a free one and try it paid for a little while and then decide, or give it a 1-year trial. I'm not sure, but regardless, you'll be able to download your transaction history and test some of these things out. I just know for me, I don't want to have to log into a million different accounts, merge them or link them to a new budgeting app, decide I don't like it, and then transition out. So you'll have to decide, do I want to pay for the convenience or use a free service that's probably going to also give me a lot of ads and partnership agreements and things like that. So it's up to you. One last free option would be just using whatever you currently use for banking. A lot of times, if you look at your banking app, there are going to be some features, usually with some AI involved, that it's analyzing your purchases and it'll tell you the categories and things like that. As far as the capabilities though, it may depend on that company. You know, for example, I bank with a credit union and they have something, but I haven't explored it well enough, and maybe a situation like this is going to encourage me to do that because I had Mint going before, and now since I don't, then I have to figure something else out. What are some of your plans? I'd love to know in the comments below. And I don't know, I might make another video just to explain, hey, this is where I am now that I've migrated away from Mint and this is the app that I like. Let me know if you'd like to see a video like that, and just make sure you're ready, because whether you like it or not, Mint is changing to Credit Karma, and if you aren't ready, then you'll have to find some other way to track your purchases. If you like this video, I want you to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss out on future content. And until next time, stay present.